Hey everybody, we're going to have a great show lined up for you today. I'm your host, Dekeither Stamps. We got our co-host here, Mr. Mac Epps. We got brothers here from Young Democrats. They say they want to be future in politics in Mississippi. That's right, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
That's you, right?
That's it.
That's right. Governor, president, senator. What you gonna
governor,
do?
ultimately.
Ultimately, the governor. This man said he gonna be the governor. And what you gonna be? Oh, I can't see you. You supposed to be the president of the organization. You sitting in the back.
Come on, yeah, get up there beside him, man.
These brothers said they're gonna be the president, the governor, and everything in between. So we're gonna have a great show for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna talk about all this. We're about to get ready for Handyman to bring us on in here at 90.1. So I'm excited about this. Just scoot on over there, Mac. You don't like to be on the camera.
I know. They can go ahead.
Scoot on over, bro.
Got warrant.
Mac said he got warrant.
I'm lying. Yes.
Don't be out here.
What's that?
I said, don't be out here.
Oh, there's plenty of folks out here with warrants. Ain't in the jail space. Back this up. Listen to it.
Jackson City Council, Ward 4. I invite everyone to listen to Reviving Mississippi every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. just before Let's Talk with Mr. Charles Everett.
Put your phone on vibrate or silent.
We'll be discussing various topics relevant to matters that affect you in Jackson.
Well, I'm saying keep it nearby. Somebody might ask you something.
So to all our listeners, our viewers on Facebook, if you're a first-time viewer, go ahead and hit that like button over and over again. If you are regular viewers that watch every week, go ahead and hit that love button and share the video. The intro's coming on. We're going to go live. We're going to talk about wastewater, regionalization. We're going to talk about Young Democrats with these brothers, and a couple other issues. So stay tuned in. It's going to be a pretty diverse show, but folks will get mad on the radio because we're not going to do call-ins for the last few minutes because we got some rich topics to talk about. Cut my phone off.
Now, you are welcome to listen to
Alright, who's that kept going on?
That's my phone.
No, I'm talking about that was Dr. D.
Yeah, not me.
Like the radio forever. You know what I'm
Mr. James Charles Everett exclusively on 91.1 FM WLPR. This show is designated as the platform for calling to discuss opportunities, minor issues of the black community and Mississippians here and abroad. This is your open forum, and you're invited to voice your opinions and concerns relative to matters that affect you in our capital.
And if you want to look at a water update, we posted the map on our Facebook page. You can click over on and get that map, take a look at it. We're about to announce all those different things. It's been a good week, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
Gonna get better.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Reviving Mississippi Show. I'm your host, Dekeither Stamps. We got our trusted co-host here, Mr. Mac Epps. How you doing, Mac?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing good. We had a long weekend.
We did have a long weekend.
We was everywhere. We're trying to do what we can to save our city and our people.
Hey, we got a lot of work to do here in the city. We got a great show lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking with some young men from Young Democrats over at Jackson State University who are trying to affect political change for our future. One brother wants to be the governor, one wants to be the president, and they're doing their civic duty over at Jackson State University, doing voter registration, voter activation, voter education, educating folks on the entire process, but also by being a part of the process. So we're going to talk to those brothers for a little bit. We're going to talk about some announcements, and we're going to talk about some serious issues. So around the second block of the show, make sure you definitely stay tuned in. First and foremost, I'm going to read a little bit about this water outage. Beginning March 10th, 2017 at approximately 3 p.m. and its expected completion will be March 12th, 2017 at approximately 3 p.m. The city will be using Code Red to distribute status updates on the project. Follow the link jacksonms.gov if you need to sign up for Code Red. The city will be providing 3 water distribution points to be set up in the city of Jackson, the Metro Center where the water department is, Precinct 1 over on Cooper Road, and the stadium is another distribution point on the West Street side of the stadium. They will be distributing water, and that will start on Friday at 12. So if you need those services, definitely go over there and check it out. If you have any issues, as always, use a 311 system, or you can call 601-960-1111. That's 601-960-1111 for the water distribution. We're highly encouraging everyone to stock up on water for this process. We posted maps of the affected areas. Generally, if you were affected on the February water outage, you will be affected again. It's not the whole city, but it's a big portion of the city. But and these are the serious things that need to be done on a rather routine basis, from my mindset. If you really want to fix Jackson, and this is why these types of fixes haven't happened in our history, because folks haven't been wanting to shut water down. Just like your home, you got to shut the water off to fix the toilet. We got to do the same thing in the city, all over the city. So we'll get through this. And I do want to say I appreciate all of the brotherly love and sisterly love that's been spread throughout the city. Different organizations stepping up, different folks helping out their community. Our main focus has been our seniors, those who don't have access to get in and out their homes. So we've been delivering water to our seniors. The city also has a congregant meal program where we deliver water. We'll deliver meals every day, and we've been bringing water along with those meals. If you know of someone who may not be a part of that program, but a senior who needs water, let me give you a number to call, 601-960-0335. That's 601-960-0335. If you would like to, know of a senior who needs those services, that's a number to our Human and Cultural Services Department. They will be assisting in getting folks who need water. They may be homebound and those types of things. Let's make sure we definitely take care of all our seniors and young people. And if you want to donate water,
right,
you can donate water as well to be given. The phone number for that is the mayor's office, 601-960-1084. That's 601-960-1084 for water donations. Also be on the lookout for people who may be doing things that aren't supposed to be doing. Only donate money to reputable organizations that may be taking up some donations, things like that.
Right.
But there's some little fly-by-night organization that you never heard of before.
Right. They don't have a track record or a history of
doing these types of things. Make sure you use a little discernment, as always, to make sure that you're making good decisions. The fire department is assuring everyone that there will be no firefighting issues in Jackson due to water outage. We've made appropriate preparations and coordinations with other local agencies to ensure that if somebody's house catches on fire, there will be enough water in the trucks and with the assistance of other apparatuses to ensure that everything that's needed to handle a house fire will be on site to handle that situation if it does arise, but also be cautious. As always, be safety conscious when it comes to fire. If you're cold, don't necessarily heat your house up with your stove and all those other little things. Be mindful of how you got your stuff plugged up in your home and all those kinds of things to make sure you're not causing some kind of electrical strain on the system. But definitely stay tuned in to all these different things because it's important in how we live our lives together. And moving on, we got a few announcements. Mac, you want to give us the announcements?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I guess you just touched on a couple of things. Because from right now, looking at it, we're supposed to have rain also this weekend. So it's going to be a weekend that you probably, a lot of people probably going to be around the house. I think we talked about off the air about some FYI things you can do in preparation for this, like starting to fill up different containers of water now and make sure that you have what you need for toilet flushing, dishwashing, things of that nature. Some of the things we can be more proactive about, and just as an average citizen, because the possibility, as some people don't know, is we're in that area. We are in that area, so we definitely know we're looking out for our seniors, as he said before. So if you know of any seniors or people that are disabled that we have not recognized and don't know, be sure to give the office a call and let us know so we can do what we can to assist those that are in need. The sad thing about it, when a situation like this happens, there's always somebody that's going to try to take advantage of a thing that's there for the need. So, but other things we have, we're talking about.
You're right. We had to turn some folks away who showed up from Rankin County trying to get some free water. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. So for like we said, we've been all weekend. We've been out in the community, doing things actively from the Black Business Expo to the Community Health Fair. This Thursday, which is tomorrow, we will be right in Cass Davis parking lot on the corner of Raymond Road and McDowell in front of the Metro PCS. Metro PCS, Mystic Move Revival Mississippi, will be out there doing some free food, some giveaways, also doing voter registration, block-to-block surveys, also those who want to volunteer to become a big brother, big sister. We are coming up with solutions for some of the problems that we have in our city. And, we're not saying all of these things are guaranteed 100% this is going to solve all our problems, but if we see a problem, we must do our due diligence and come up with solutions and low-hanging fruit solutions, things that you and I can do. So we will be out there tomorrow at 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. McDowell, the corner of Raymond and McDowell at the Cass Davis parking lot, Metro PCS. We'll have free food, we have music out, we'll be doing voter registration, we'll be having different things out there, some giveaways, also giving away tickets to the Dina Howard concert that will be next Friday at Next Level in the Metro Center. So please come by, stop by, see us. You'll see the tent out, you'll see the purple. Councilman Stamps is a big fan of that because they love purple. So we'll be out there representing that. Another thing we have for next Thursday on the 23rd, South Jackson's Mayoral Forum, 6:30 p.m. at New Dimensions International Fellowship of Ministries at 110 Altawood Boulevard. That's the South Jackson Mayoral Forum. There was one earlier this year. This is the second one.
This is the 23rd.
23rd, March 23rd, Thursday, March 23rd. So make sure you come out and check that out. We had one earlier where they came and did their platform. This is going to be also question and answering, so make sure you come out and get your concerns voiced and make sure that you get the answer that you need to support the person that you think are going to help move your city forward. Anything else, Councilman?
Oh, well, first we got these young brothers here from Jackson State. Go ahead and introduce these brothers so that folks can know what's going on in Jackson State with the Young Democrat chapter.
Okay, well we have one brother. We have two brothers, actually. They are both juniors at Jackson State, and they are part of the Young Democrats. We have the president and vice president, one who is a political science pre-law major, or political science major, and the other one is have a major in entrepreneurship. So these brothers have already started their path on what they think they need to do to help orchestrate our future to be better, better than they found it for us. So we have the president, and we get to introduce yourself, brother.
Hey everybody, my name is Chris Oliphant. I'm the president of Young Democrats.
And where you from?
From Jackson, Mississippi. Went to the best high school here at Provine down the street.
Oh, there he go. He plugging. What about you, brother? Where you from?
My name is Jawan Knight. I am a junior political science major. I'm from Jackson as well. I went to Murrah, so I would argue with what he said about the best high school.
Okay. Well, look, we are glad to have both of you brothers here, and you're taking an active role. Now, we were talking off the air about some of the things that you want to do. I know one brother said he's actually ready. And Councilman Stamp said, "Are you ready for this life?"
All right, so
are you ready for this life?
Right, so let's talk a little bit about the Young Democrat chapter.
Yeah.
What types of activities have you been involved in? What are you doing over there, and how can the public participate in the activities that you're pursuing at Jackson State?
So a lot of our main efforts have up to this point centered around voter education, voter registration. We assisted a lot in Mississippi with the recent presidential campaign and campaigning for the Democratic candidates in Mississippi. And this year, what our focus is the Jackson mayoral race. So, for example, we're plugging our mayoral forum that's going to be held at the Student Center Theater at Jackson State on March the 24th. And that will start at 6 p.m. It is free and open to the public. There will be light refreshments, and we just encourage everybody to come out. There's going to be a question and answer session from all the candidates, and we're going to be accepting questions for us to ask while we moderate their discussion. But we definitely encourage everybody to come out just to hear, what these candidates have to offer. One thing we're pushing, even on our campus, is being involved in local elections. No matter where our students are from, if you live in Jackson, we believe you should vote in Jackson. So if you live on campus, we believe you should vote on campus. We have a precinct on our campus. So one of our big pushes is getting our students engaged in the voting process, specifically in Jackson and in Mississippi.
Okay, we got a comment here that's been asked. The North Park Mall area is not inside of the area that will be affected by the water repairs. So that's just a comment that we got. I want to make sure we give some outline here. From south of Northside Drive till you get to Highway 18, I have low pressure. And several areas below Highway 18 till you get to all the way to the city limits will have some cases low, some cases no pressure, but definitely go online to our Facebook page. We put detailed maps and instructions there so that everyone can be conscious of what's going on and where it's going on at. But back to you, brother. So how long have y'all been a part of the Young Democrats at Jackson State University?
So we chartered our chapter on campus last year. We chartered it last spring, actually. And then after the presidential election, after the school year last year ended, we kind of fell off. But our president, Chris, has done a good job of kind of getting us back involved and getting us back active on campus.
Okay, good. What kind of challenges have you been facing in getting, because see, young folks are the future. Every revolution that's ever happened and really in our country has happened and been spurred by the energy that folks in your generation can bring. So what are some of the challenges that you found on your journey of getting young Democrats more motivated at Jackson State?
As far as getting them more motivated, to give them that image, to say that I'm not just one student, but I set that trend for those students who fall behind me. And just me getting my voice out, and not just me, the fellow members, even Jawan, getting their voices out to other students so that they can get more involved. Hey, we technically live here, so we might as well listen to what they got to say, listen to what's going on, and try to get more involved, because I really want to know about the current community. And you can't find out saying, oh, I don't live here. And that's one of the biggest challenges, saying, oh, I don't live here.
Because you do live here.
Yeah, you do live here. You be here from August all the way to November, skip a week in November, come back November, December, leave, go home for 2 weeks, come back January, and then be here to May. You live here.
And summer school too. So
Yeah.
you got 10,000. One thing about Jackson State University, Jackson State could really own this city.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 10,000 students. If you got 10,000 voters, right?
You can make a break of
You
election.
can dictate the course of the city elections, the state elections. You could literally single-handedly elect your own council person, elect your own mayor, elect your own state representative, and your own state senator, and have an influence with 10,000 voters focused and organized, have an influence in the statewide elected officials as well. So that's a great goal to be able to work towards, being able to have that level of effectiveness. But it takes voter education, voter activation. Do you know the numbers of the last election over at Jackson? How many folks came out to vote?
I think the overall was like 462.
Right.
That was in 2013.
How many registered voters?
But you got 10,000 students. I mean, you have the ability to have 10,000 registered voters.
Yeah.
They may be registered somewhere else back home. It's not to say that they didn't vote. They may have voted absentee. But to have the ability to centralize 10,000 votes yeah, only 400 of them showed up, but many of them are registered, but they just vote other places.
Right.
You know, like you're from Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So you probably didn't change your voter registration to Jackson State. You probably vote at your mom's house, right?
Yeah.
At your parents' house,
At
right?
Rain.
At Rains, right over in the Queens. You know, for me, I was looking for you to vote for me May the 2nd.
My address is actually on Jackson State campus.
Okay, so you changed it. All right, we're great.
Yeah.
So now we need to get more folks, you know, activated and voting,
Right.
because it's vitally important to be engaged in the process, to learn the process, because they're taking civics out of schools. Most
Yes.
times they don't teach civics in the schools anymore.
Right.
So talk a little more about what do you see as the future of politics in Jackson State's ability over there?
The future of it, it's gonna take kids getting involved, and
Well, call them adults, because once you get it, you in college, you're an adult. In my mind, you know, once you're not a child anymore. You're
Right.
trying to grow up and wear
You
your
got,
own britches.
you got real responsibility.
Right, you know, so
Yeah.
talk about what kind of challenges, how can we get more young folks involved in this process? Talk us how we can be more effective, because that's what I like to learn. How can I, tell me what I need to be doing to be more effective with your generation?
as far as going out to speaking with them, just not coming as, hey, this is what I'm finna do, I'm finna inform you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not catching nobody's attention, but coming to them as if you're that friend, or you just really just want to come talk to them that day. Just have general conversations, and then at the end of the conversation, you ask, are you ready to vote, or what is your interests? How could this be better? And that's how you get them more involved with politics. That's how you get them more involved with the city. And that's one of the biggest problems with the city, that nobody wants to invest into the city. Everybody wants to get something out of the city.
We had a question that just wanted to say, how do adults get younger people involved in voting? And I think a lot of that question would be primarily, as children, we do 25% of what we hear from our parents and 75% of what we see. So taking your kids with you, and taking the neighbor kids, nephew, whoever it is, getting them involved in what you're doing, and you being civically engaged and encouraging other adults to lead by example, and not just telling them what they should be doing, but say, hey, come do this, come participate. And the first thing that the guys did when they first came here today, when they talking about what they were doing as Young Democrats and what they want to do, first thing Councilman Stamp said, okay, let's sit down and talk. You know, that was his first message to them. Let's sit down, let's go stay around, see how this works. And that's offer them an opportunity to watch and see what you're doing. But you first have to be doing what is needed to bring about the change for them to see it.
Yep, so I've been in Jackson a few times. I've spoken to a couple of the political science classes. I definitely did more last year than this year. I think we've only been there twice this year, but before that, even the first year we were in office, myself and former council person Frank Blunson, we did 2 events over at Jackson State. So we definitely need more folks to be engaged. So all my other politicians and preachers and pastors and other leaders in the community, those instructors and professors over at Jackson State would love for you to come talk to their class for a day. So definitely contact those different professors and arrange those opportunities, because that's where we have intergenerational dialogue.
Right.
That's one of the things that's missing, is that we don't have spaces and places to talk, not to tell
Right.
or talk at,
Yeah.
Right.
to just talk and say, okay, well, this is the problem, this is the process, this is the solution, right? And just talk, and how we engage change and mold the system for the future. So you got any more parting words about how can folks who may be listening get their young folks involved, a number to call, a website, Facebook page? How do folks get involved in the Young Democrats of Jackson State?
Basically, you can just come to the interest meeting.
We are we're planning several meetings, but we also do have an Instagram page, and it's at JSU Young Democrats. So you can follow us on Instagram. That's a very good way to reach us, specifically young people to reach us. And I think one thing, I guess, if to address what was said about parents, getting their young people involved, I think another thing for parents, politicians, leaders, etc., one thing that we really value as young people is them showing up. And I think a lot of times they don't show up. I know I've been in Jackson all my life, but the first time I voted for city elections, I just kind of picked whose ever name looked good because I didn't know none of them came to talk to me specifically. So they didn't show up. So I just kind of, that's that. So I think it's very important that we just show up. If we want to have any kind of impact on young people, show up.
And educate, we gotta get more folks educated. So the first time you see all the names on the ballot shouldn't be when you get the ballot.
Right.
Yeah.
It should be before then,
Right.
right? You should educate yourself on who's running, what are their qualifications, what's their background, and do they have any capacity to bring any value
Correct.
to the office that they're seeking. And that's one of our issues, because we're about to talk about a very serious issue in a few minutes that is affecting the city of Jackson. And so definitely, teach young folks, teach all folks really. It's not just young folks, because it's grown folks who don't know who their council person is, who their senator is, who their state representative is. So it just teach people all in general about civics, and because these different things affect our lives and our quality of life.
Yeah.
So you got an Instagram page, you have a phone number folks can call if they want to join up or sign up.
We don't have a direct phone number per se, since we are a student organization. So any number we'll give out will be one of our cell phone numbers, and we'd rather not do
You better
that.
go create your Google number and give it out. Come on now, y'all know I know that much about the technology world. But you guys are hitting on great points, and for a lot of us, we came on the tour just understanding about a lot of the leaders around the world were under the ages of 25. So they used to tell us, are you prepared and are you ready? If something was to happen to everybody 25 and older tomorrow, are you ready to step forward? Do you know what you need to know to make basic decisions that's going to affect hundreds or thousands of people? And a lot of times the answer is no, because that stuff that you see that is boring at certain times in your life, or somebody had never educated you on, are major decisions. And we talk about all the time about voter education. My voter education point I always talk about is if the person's not doing anything before they become and get into office, then what are they going to do once they get out? I mean, once they get in there. So you don't have to have a title to be actively engaged and do things to help people. So we got a serious issue we want to talk about. I want you brothers to kind of pick this out.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, several years ago, there was an attempt made by the West Rankin Utility Authority to build their own wastewater plant. And about a year or so ago, Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality issued them a permit to proceed to do that. Now, West Rankin is one of our customers here in Jackson. We are the regional provider for wastewater services. And we've been providing that service for some time. And we have a contract with this authority to provide sewer services, and they pay a little under $5 million a year for that service. And now they want to build their own plant, which means Jackson will lose a certain amount of revenue if this is done. And so we took them to court because we felt that the actual permit was illegal and that whole process. But nonetheless, we've lost a few court cases and they're continuing to move forward. Now there is an attempt to regionalize our wastewater plant. And if this is done, that means that there will be a commission and board attached to this process, and we will lose a degree of power over the system that we control. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we maintain control of our assets, because we've been investing in this asset for a long time. We've been doing the things necessary to maintain this asset, and as always, I'm not saying I'm against regionalization. I'm against selective regionalization. And you just can't say I want your airport, your wastewater plant, and your school system.
Right.
Right.
No justification.
Right.
I just want it because I want it.
Right, I want it because I want it. Right. And so there's a move to go down this road that's taking place. And I'm against it because there's no buying in. You just don't. If you want to go into business with us, you need to invest in that business. You just don't get a seat at the table without putting some money into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're going to build a wastewater plant, it's going to cost you $200 million. Well, why don't you spend 40 or 50 million dollars into buying into Jackson's system, and you'll have a seat at the table. We'll take that money, we'll put it into the system that we're all managing.
Right.
We move forward. But you just don't get a seat at the table for free.
Yeah.
And because Jackson spent hundreds of millions of dollars on this operation, right? And so my position on any regionalization of the Savannah Street wastewater plant is I'm not in favor of it unless it's equitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some folks just don't get a seat at the table, and especially I'm not in favor of Jackson not having the most seats of any type of board or commission that would be established, right? Because Jackson, puts in about 70% of the flow and money of this operation. So Jacksonians should have that degree of representation.
Mm-hmm.
But folks who put in the 20 and 30% shouldn't have the majority of the representation.
Right.
Right? And these are the high-level things that we need to collectively talk about. I know we've had some internal issues, whether it be, in my ward, we've been fighting about, infrastructure, streets, and
right.
golf courses and railroad tracks. And in other folks' ward, they've been talking about gating ordinances and these other internal things. But at this conversation, above all other conversations, we need for Jackson to stand up for Jackson.
Correct.
Because there are some things that are being done right now at the 11th hour, right? Last week they came in trying to borrow $90 million, and now they're trying to do a privatization, a regionalization of the wastewater plant. At any rate, let's see who's going to be at the table in July, and let those people make a decision.
Right.
Right. Let's wait till after the election, then start talking about these things. Let's not do these kinds of major things at the 11th hour. And some people, I don't know if I'm going to be at the table. I hope that the folks give me a chance to come back
right.
and continue to do this. But if they don't, whoever's in my seat and in other seats need to be the ones that are making these kinds of long-term decisions for the future of Jackson, because this decision right here is, I've had to prioritize this. This is higher than the airport conversation. It's right under the school system and right above the airport as far as priorities. Because the way you don't regionalize the heart of a system. There's also no data that can show me specifically how will this affect the rest of a system, because the Savannah Street wastewater plant is part of a system.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Trahan plant in Byram, we have a Presidential Hills plant, and then we have a collection system that links all this together that provides for wastewater treatment. So you just don't regionalize the heart and not have a detailed plan for all the veins and arteries
right.
that flow around, and how the money will flow to further maintain the rest of these things going forward. So stay tuned in, stay plugged into this, because this conversation that's being handled so quickly and so behind the scenes, this is the first public voice of any of this conversation that's been said as of yet. Today, right now. And some people want to get this wrapped up in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think the public should have input in this. I think the public should have the ability to have town hall meetings at every ward.
Right.
I think that if you're going to make a move like this, there needs to be public input. There needs to be public scrutiny. There needs to be the experts to dissect the whole process, to let folks know how it will affect them, because this is what I always stay keen at. Anytime someone is using fear to make me make a decision, but not logic.
Yeah.
When they say, if we don't do this, the people in Jackson's rates are going to go up 25%. I said, hold on. Y'all the same people that just raised the sewer rates 129% 2 years ago that I was fighting.
Yeah.
So now you scared of 25 more percent? I fought tooth and nail. We were unsuccessful. Myself and Sister Larita Cooper Stokes pushed against that. And now the same folks are coming in and saying we got to regionalize the wastewater plant because we don't want the people to get a 25% increase. So I said, well, hold on. Let's do the math. Y'all smart brothers, right? Let's do the math. If West Rankin pays into our system $5 million, right? And we got 60,000 customers. Pull out your phone, brother. Divide $5 million by 60,000 customers.
How much is that?
And you tell me how much that is, and then divide it by 12 months, right?
Right.
And you tell me what that number is. We'll do it live on there. You know, 5 million divided by 60,000 customers. And then you tell me what that number is.
Per month, $6.94.
So, you think I'm scared of a $7 increase to make me lose control of my wastewater plant? And then you gonna control the money and the flow and to a large degree the rates. So you think you're gonna scare me?
Yeah.
Over a $7 telling me, and I don't even believe the $7 increase, right? So you think you're gonna use that point, right, to scare me to make a decision to support something that other folks who don't represent Jackson are gonna be able to control the rates and the money?
Right.
Come
They
on.
want it all. You want everything. It's just like, it sounds like what you're saying, but to make it more plain, it's like taking your heart and moving it from the left side of your body and to say we're going to move it to the right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put somebody in charge of my heart and my brain.
Yeah.
And then-
I don't like the way they doing it. We're gonna just do it the other way.
Right. So this is what I said, and this is my, what I put on the table as a response. First, no, right? Secondly, well, we have a contract with the West Rankin Utility Authority, and the contract states that either party can terminate the contract with notice, right?
Right.
So since the West Rankin Utility Authority wants to build their own plan and doesn't want to deal with Jackson anymore, let's just issue them a notice and say, all right, we're gonna cancel your contract in 6 months.
Keep it
All right. So now, let's negotiate.
Yeah. That's a
We're gonna
negotiation
cancel your
right there.
contract in 6 months if you do not drop all this foolishness about building your wastewater plant. If those plans stop, we can keep doing business. If they continue on, in 6 months you figure out where your sewage is gonna go. But see, that's how I negotiate, right? Because I'm a business owner, right?
Yeah.
I'm not, these other folks from these different professions.
and play with
I don't play with these. I don't play with none of these folks, right? I don't even play with my kids. Okay.
I got time to play with you.
I just had a conversation with my daughter. I'm not finna clap for you because you made the honor roll. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Make the dean's list. They don't clap for you,
Right.
right? So my proposal is, all right, let's send them a letter and say, hey, I'm not finna give you my wastewater plan, let you control it. You don't want to do business with us anymore. Great, go do your own thing. In 6 months, you figure out where your sewer gonna go. Now let's negotiate. You see, but it takes folks with some backbone to be in this business, because
Yeah.
if you let folks bully you, your
Right.
people gonna suffer.
All the time.
If you let folks push you against the corner,
Right.
your people gonna suffer. But it takes
Right.
you gotta be free to fight,
Right.
right?
And
I might not
it's-
make much money. I still got a little broke down car, but I'm free,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Ain't nobody got their hands in my pocket, I ain't got my hands in my pocket, right? You gotta be free to fight in this business. So if y'all wanna be young Democrats and y'all wanna get in this game, right, and do this stuff, you put yourself in a position to be free. Put yourself in a position so you can stand and negotiate properly. Because if one thing I've always learned about folks, if you present yourself as a boy, they're gonna treat you like a boy.
Yeah.
Every time. But when you walk in as a man, they will respect you as a man.
I recognize you.
I'm from Learning, Mississippi. Learning, Mississippi got its own, what they call hate group, right? We still do business together because I'm a man, my father's a man, my grandfather was a man, my great-grandfather was a man, right? And they know that men are produced down there at Stamps Farm. So when it's time to do business, we do business. I got my shotgun, they got their shotgun. I respect their property line, they respect my property line.
And
Because
they-
first they respect my shotgun,
Right.
and I respect theirs, right?
Mm.
And you do business appropriately. But see, in this business, we sometimes waver and make what I feel are inappropriate negotiations.
Yeah.
I don't start the negotiation when I already know I don't disagree with something. I put the main thing up front. That's the starting point of my negotiation.
Yeah.
I start from the winning side. If you don't want to do business with me, we're gonna cut your sewer off in 6 months. Now let's negotiate back from that.
Yeah.
You don't start from the weak position to negotiate. You start from the strong position. I can cut your sewer off in 6 months. That's the starting point. Now let's work back from me cutting your sewer off, right? And you walk me back.
I,
I don't come in trying to walk you back.
I just had a thought on some people. What you gonna do without the $5 million? What they gonna do without sewer? I think you'd be a lot better off figuring out how to create another $5 million revenue versus figuring out if you got 60,000 people,
Right.
what you gonna do without sewer?
Right. The folks in my ward having a hard time paying for these sewer rates already. I'm not finna let some other folks be in charge of it.
Correct.
Right. I'm not finna let some other folks.
Right.
They have a
Please
hard
don't.
time paying the sewer bills and water bills when I'm in charge of it.
Right.
Now, what am I gonna turn to them and say I did? Right.
Well, I gave it away. You know, you done gave away the farm. At least all the cow.
Yeah.
But so, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's on the table. So, and this is also a delineating factor here. This is going to be a litmus test to the folks in the future. Anybody who's running for mayor, this issue, where they stand on this issue, will tell you what you got.
Sure.
Where they stand on this issue. I don't care if I don't like the person.
Mm-hmm.
Where they stand on this issue and their position on this issue will be a determining factor on who I'm gonna vote for. Because if you don't have a backbone before you get in office, you're not gonna grow it on election day.
Oh man.
Nah.
Right. But that titanium plate in there.
Nowhere.
You know, so I know we got a few minutes to go on the show. Brother, let me bring another brother up for a second. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's going on here. This is a brief synopsis. I'm gonna be in Washington D.C. next week. I leave Saturday night. We got meetings with Senator Cochran and Senator Wicker and the rest of our congressional delegation. Congressman Thompson, I was on the phone with him this morning. Congressman Harper and all the rest of them. So we'll be having those discussions about Walter Dutch Drive, the federal highway system, and several of those things next week, and this wastewater situation, because it's going to take everybody to bring this situation to the forefront, and also to push against it. You know, I'm in the minority in this situation. You know, there are other people who are for this, right?
Right.
And for different reasons, people got their own right to be for or against whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have to make their case of why they are for it to you. But as it stands right now, what I've been presenting, I haven't been presenting anything that I feel justifies this move. And but like I said, other folks will make their decisions on what direction they want to go in. But stay keenly aware. You know, why would I even agree to a 7-member board with Jackson only get 3 of the people on board? Right. That don't make sense to me.
Right.
From an initial proposal, right? Right. You start from the strong position.
Right.
I said, why don't we have a 5-member board and Jackson get 4?
Right. Right.
All right. And then you get 1. Let's start there and let's negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the one with the plan. You have no plan.
And somebody out there willing to say, well, that sounds like a good idea. It's just like the folks that you go to their house and play and they start losing, they change the rules of the game. You know, that doesn't work when you're dealing with people's lives. So.
You know, come to my house and tell me I gotta live in the garage.
Yeah.
Hey, but ladies and gentlemen, this is not a funny situation. You know, I'm giggling because sometimes you gotta laugh, keep crying.
Oh yeah.
You know, but in the studio right now, we have one of what I call. Oh, we got a call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yes, sir. I was, yeah, man. I'm sorry, sir.
All right. Have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen in the studio, we got Mr. Jimmy Lacey. Mr. Lacey is the owner of Safety Products Plus, right down on Raymond Road, right across from Forest Hill High School. He owns
Safety Products Plus.
Right. He owns Safety Products Plus. He's definitely one of our valued business owners. He just moved into a new building there. Welcome to the show, Mr. Lacey. Tell the folks what you got going on over there at Safety Products Plus.
Okay, Safety Products Plus, we provide self-defense products to the general public, such as stun guns, pepper sprays, surveillance systems, and so much more. You know, nowadays, man, crime is on the rise everywhere. So it's very, very important for you to have something to protect yourself with. You know, we open Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 6.
So how long you been in business? And first, I appreciate you for being in business in our neighborhood. You could have put your business with your business acumen, right? And you and your wife own several businesses, but with your business acumen and your financial wherewithal, you could put your skill set anywhere, right? I mean anywhere.
Right.
And with everything you're doing, but you're doing it right in the heart of Ward 4, right on Raymond Road. Talk a little bit about your journey as a business owner in the city of Jackson and where you see yourself going in the future.
Well, owning business in Jackson is, I've been raised in Jackson. Went to Hardy Junior High, Provine High School, Ram City.
Ram City.
Ram
University.
And there's no place I ever, would want to be as far as a business owner. Jackson is home. Even though we can expand out, Jackson is always going to be the home office. Where I see myself going, we're pretty much settled right there on Raymond Road.
That's what I'm talking about.
I see the potential,
bigger, right?
Potential and growth coming to Jackson. I like the conversation you were just having about the city, the water treatment plant and everything. I agree with you. But yeah, Safety Products Plus been there, open to the public now for about 7 years now. And we encourage everybody to come by and check us out. You can even check us out on the web at www.safetypp.com.
You get a nice, beautiful billboard right there on the corner of 18 and
Well, it used to be there.
Used to be there?
Yeah, it used to be there.
Okay.
We ran there for a few weeks.
So give the phone number and the address again of Safety Products Plus.
601-238-8108. You can reach us by email at safetyproductsplus@yahoo.com. 2512 Raymond Road, Jackson, Mississippi, right across the street from Forest Hill High School, right beside the Masonic Lodge.
So we definitely appreciate you for coming out to the show. I wish you'd have brought some of those stun guns in the car.
Well, I didn't bring in, with me on the talk show,
Okay.
But
we got you on Facebook Live.
Okay, we got a good unit that a lot of ladies love to carry. My wife and daughters actually carry one. It's called the Ladies' Choice stun gun. It's a 21 million volt unit, very effective. It will go through up to 2 inches of clothing. It has an alarm on it, and it has a safety pin. You can also check this unit out on Facebook at Safety Products Plus LLC and get a demonstration on exactly how it works. The Safety Products Plus LLC, you'll see Safety Products logo.
That's right.
and pull it up, and that's a really good unit to have. The cost is about around $50. Comes with a lifetime warranty on it.
We got a caller here. Let's get this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
How you doing today, Council?
Hey, sir. How you doing?
This is Al, wide open.
How you doing, Al?
I'm doing pretty good. I want to let you know that the last Friday was the deadline, and for several weeks now, almost 2 months, you've been under attack by some people trying to push a particular candidate. Well, when the deadline passed on Friday, that person didn't run, but that person was being pushed by some people who were from outside Jackson. But I want to say this, that person decided not to run, and on Sunday on another talk show, I heard that person say that he did a survey throughout the community, his own internal survey, to see if there was a way forward. And after doing that internal survey, he found that he couldn't beat you. And that is a testament to the work that you have done in the community. You know, they attacked you, came at you, but the man saw that there was no way forward when he talked to your constituents. So I want to be the first person to come out here and say this, and I hope all of Jackson is listening. Eyes wide open categorically endorses the Dekeither stamp for re-election for City Council Ward 4. He has done a wonderful job. Don't listen to what people say. Don't listen to what he say, but judge him by the work that he has done. And when you look at the work that the Dekeither Stamps has done over there in Ward 4 and the positivity that he's put out throughout this entire community, it is absolutely clear that the Dekeither Stamps must be re-elected for that ward seat in Ward 4. So I categorically say, Dekeither, man, you've done a good job. The devil was already defeated when he came out. You hear me? The devil came at you. He came at you hard. But the devil was already defeated. The devil went to your constituents, and your constituents told the devil no. So, man, you keep doing what you're doing. Even the statements, the testimony given by your proposed opponents, by people from outside Jackson, was everything that I had to hear. But, man, you be yourself and keep doing what you're doing, and, man, we're going to continue to support you.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks a lot. And I do want to say, I appreciate that, but, the people do all the work. I just kind of organize folks and get folks together, and those folks who didn't run, I don't think that those negative things were coming from those people. They were coming from other people who were looking for a way to get us out of office, but then, so I don't necessarily think that the people who were looking at running, it was several, there was about 5 of them who were looking at running for office, were the ones who were the ones perpetuating these negative kinds of things. There were other people who are against what we're for. They're not really against the Dekeither stamps. Mm-hmm. Our record says we opposed water sewer rate increases. We opposed property tax increases. We opposed budgets with furloughs. We opposed, cemeteries and stuff like that. New cemeteries being put up. So there are people who are for that stuff. And so they want to come try to support other people to get, folks like me out, right? And that's still going on. I mean, we're still in the midst of that because, there are people who are in the race who are supported by other folks too. So the race not over with. We got a long way to go before the campaign is concerned. They're trying to, push us into a situation to have a runoff to get us out because they know that they're trying to take over this wastewater plant. They're trying to take over several other things. They're trying to do other things, and the people who are free got to go. So I don't want folks to look at people. Those people are not the issue. The drivers of all that negative talk weren't those people who were looking at running. The drivers of the negative talk were some folks who were running for mayor, who want to be your mayor, who know that if folks like me are sitting across the table on TV, they can't beat us in conversation, and they can't get their agenda pushed forward. So the target is not the people. It's the agendas that oppose what we are for. I make real simple decisions. Is it good for poor people? Is it good for Jacksonians? Is it good for elderly?
Yeah.
Is it good for children?
Right.
If it's not good for my seniors, I'm not supporting it. If it's not good for my community, I'm not supporting it. So our metric for what we support is pretty simple. We read all the information, but we just ask a basic question. Is it good for the folks I represent, or is it bad? If it's bad, we vote no. And we don't care what the ramifications are. Let it fall where it may. If you come in and tell me hell gonna freeze over, if I vote no, well, let's vote no and see, because I ain't never seen hell freeze over. But brother Jim Lacey, you got one of your products
here.
Yeah,
we got one here. Look, people on the radio can't see it, but for your Facebook fan, this is a stun gun.
That thing's like a zebra print.
Yeah, it has a zebra print. It comes in 4 different colors. They plug into the wall to charge, so you got to worry about replacing batteries, anything like that. It has a nice bright flashlight on it. If you're out in the evening. the sound
Oh,
alone
nice.
is a great deterrent.
That thing, you can light
Scared,
somebody up.
head to jump.
Real quick. But also, what I like about it has 120 decibel alarm.
Okay.
You know, and it's gonna echo out, and people gonna look toward that alarm. But the best aspect of it, if you got this pin around your wrist, and someone did come up on you and try to wrestle it away from you, the pin come out, it deactivates it.
Oh, okay.
That way, it can't be used against you. The flashlight will still work,
But-
but the stun gun is dead.
Okay.
Until you put that pin back in there,
Yeah,
you
back
pull
to
it out,
work.
it's back up now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen in the radio land, if you were to see that piece of material, you definitely step back.
Yeah, and it comes with a nice little carrying case.
And I like because it plugs in the wall, so you don't have to buy batteries and
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. You can just plug it in, charge it up before you get ready to go. We got about 5 minutes left to go.
I got
on
a
the
few
show.
safety tips. You know,
Okay.
we hear a lot of people. What's been going on now, Mr. Stamps, is a lot of people has been approaching gas stations,
Mhm.
and I want to tell the audience to be careful, be aware of your surroundings. You know, if somebody's trying to walk up on you, hey, excuse me, you know, tell them, hold up, you're getting too close. Keep
Let's
your
get this
distance.
started. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Oh, how you doing, Brother Stamps?
Hey, brother.
Look here. I got a question, though. Donald Trump got a $3 trillion thing he's trying to put together for infrastructure for the United States. Is there any way that the city council, after y'all get through your election here in Jackson, any way y'all can write a bill, write something to try to get some of that $3 trillion for Jackson, Mississippi, for the council?
Oh, most definitely. And those are some of the talks we'll be engaged in next week when we go to Washington, D.C. to meet with Senator Cochran, Senator Wicker, and Congressman Thompson and Congressman Harper. Is about infrastructure going forward, what it looks like in reality. Some of the things that are coming from the White House may not be the most accurate information, and we want to make sure that we get the accurate information because the Congress is the one who has the purse strings and who controls the money flow. So we want to, make sure we talk in detail about some specific things of where the federal government is going with infrastructure, so that we can come back and relay that to you specifically.
Okay, and what about with the help? What about public schools funding?
Well, see, all that's on the table right now, and that's why we're going to be definitely engaged in public schools. We've been a public school supporter. I'm a product of public schools, and we the state's not going to grow as long as you keep killing the public school system. America is dwindling down because it's trying to kill its own public school system. You wonder why these other schools, other countries are leaping ahead of us. So I appreciate you for calling, brother. Thanks a lot. We got about 3 minutes left to go on the show. All right. We got 3 minutes left to go on the show. Give the contact information of Safety Products Plus again.
Okay, Safety Products Plus, we're located at 2512 Raymond Road, right across from Forest Hill High School. You can reach us at 601-238-8108. We're open Monday through Friday from 10:30 to 6. Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 6. Or you can get us on the website at www.safetypp.com. That's safety, SAFETYPP.com.
Well, I sure appreciate you, brother Lexi. You definitely a valued member of the community. You do a great job in building a nice storefront there, and you've done it for years. So thank you for all you do and continue to definitely the hard work. You got any quick? Now we got 2 minutes left to go, Mac.
Community event tomorrow, Cash Saver, Raymond Road, McDowell, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. with Metro PCS, Revive Mississippi and Mississippi Move. Come out, free food and other things, so come on out.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. And remember, never let anybody put you in a position where you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own people, you're part of the very oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of. I love you, Jackson. I love you, Mississippi. We'll see y'all on the next go round. All right. Oh, you need
I'm gonna put some of those in the store.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, we love y'all. See y'all next week.